You're listening to Touch the Line Podcast.
Today on the podcast, we're going to talk about apps. Now, I love technology. I'm a fan of technology. I love having things at my fingertips, and I love having things instantly. It's just the world we live in now. So, if you use a paper journal or anything like that to write down notes, more power to you. I know you can remember it better in your mind, but I love the Notes app. I like having things instantly. So we're going to talk about 10 apps that I cannot live without. There's more than 10, but we're just going to keep it down to 10. The first one, let's go ahead and get started. Slack. I love Slack. We use it inside of our salon company for communication. We use it for one-on-one communication. So instead of texting the person, we'll just go into Slack. You can send them just a DM or just a one-on-one communication. You can use it as group communication. It is a little bit more streamlined than if you use a group text like iMessage or something like that. I know there's other apps out there. One thing I love about Slack though is it's a workhorse. You can upload files, PDFs. You can schedule things to be sent out each week. So we do that with our weekly team meeting. I record it over the weekend. I schedule it to go out Monday at 10 a.m. So it can do a lot of things. You can pay for it. We just use the free version, but it's a really, really great app that is a workhorse. We use it for our order. When our order comes in, we'll check it all in. We upload it through an iPhone to scan it, and it automatically puts it in the Slack. So the integration with other apps is very, very phenomenal with Slack. So if you're looking for group communication or stepping up your game in group communication, I highly, highly recommend Slack. It is a little complex on the front end, but you can catch on really quick. And it's really easy bringing people on and onboarding them, giving them access to certain channels. If you have private channels, you can keep those private. So it's really, really simple to use. So the first one is Slack. The second one is Calendly. So it's kind of hard to say Calendly, but this has revolutionized how I schedule meetings. So instead of going back and forth in email, send me 3 dates that work for you. And then they come back and say, hey, those dates won't work, or the dates have already passed and now they just saw the email. It's just a headache. So I literally told my wife, I said, there's got to be an app out there that I can set my schedule. It can read my calendar, and then people can click on that link and just schedule a time. Literally, I typed that into Google and this app came up, Calendly. And so you put in all your calendars that you use and you put what times you want to meet, and it'll read your calendar. So let's just say on my calendar, I have lunch with someone from 12 to 1. Well, you can't schedule a meeting with me from 12 to 1. But if I did not have that lunch, you could schedule 12 to 1 with me. So it helps protect my calendar. So there's times from 1 to 4, I'm in the salon every day. And then from 4 on, I have family time. So from basically anything before 1 p.m., you can schedule with me if I don't have anything on the schedule. If I want to take a day off, I just mark all day and I might say off or go into the lake, or we're going somewhere out of town, and it closes my schedule where no one can schedule with me. So we use Calendly inside of our company as well. We use it for weddings. When someone wants to get a consultation with a wedding, we send them straight to Calendly. They pick a time that works best for them and they schedule it. Interviews. With interviews, I don't go back and forth now. I just say, hey, click this link, this is my schedule. Find a time that works best for you. And it automatically sends them the Zoom link and all that great stuff. So Calendly, it just puts basically the ball in everybody else's court, and it serves them instead of going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So Calendly is a great, great app. The next one, the third one, Spark. This might be an app you've never heard of. Spark is really, really great. It's a email app. You can use it on Mac and you can use it on iOS, and it is coming to Windows But the thing that sets Spark apart is a couple of things. You can snooze emails. So if you have an email that you got over the weekend and you don't want to tackle it till say next week or the middle of next week, you can snooze it, gets it out of your inbox, and it comes back. So if you use your email like I like inbox zero, like emails are task to me. So once I'm done with them, I just archive them, get them out of the way. So, if there's emails in my inbox, there's still things to respond to. The goal at the end of the day is to have 0 emails in my inbox. Some of you right now are sweating, like there's no way I could do that because you have like 30,000 emails. And I have anxiety just thinking about that. But anyway, Spark. So that's one of the things you can snooze. Another thing you can do is you can add team members within your organization. So we have our front desk. We have my wife in there as well. And you can chat back and forth on certain emails. So instead of replying and forwarding and doing all that, you could just go down at the bottom. It says chat with teammates. And I can chat with the front desk and say, hey, we followed up with this guest. Or I can, share it with my wife and say, hey, what do you think about this? Instead of going back and forth, it's just a chat at the bottom. That is a game changer. So I love the chat feature. I love the snooze feature. Apple email is great. It's very basic, but it gets kind of boring to me. And so I love switching up apps, but I have not moved away from Spark. It's free. That's another great thing. It's free. So Slack, Calendly, Spark. Next one, Google Drive. So a lot of you guys probably use Google Drive, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on Google Drive. Google Drive is great for sharing documents. It's very easy. Like to open up a Microsoft Excel, the app, the program, it just takes forever to load it and get it up. And then you have to save it and then you got to attach it. With Google Drive, you can just do it all. And then as you're updating it, the person if you share it with someone, they could see you update it live. So it's really great to share files. It's really simple to use. And we use this a lot with our front desk in our company. You create a document. If I need to update that document, I can update it from home. I don't have to go up to the salon company and update it. So the sharing feature makes it a huge win. So Google Drive, you can store, music on there, videos, and obviously documents and all that. Number 5, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on reminders. If you don't use reminders on iOS, like you are missing out. Did you know on reminders, you can set locations now? So you can say, hey, remind me when I get to work or remind me when I get home to take the trash out. And once you pull in, it's got a geofence. Once you pull into your home, it sends you a reminder. When you pull up at work, it sends you a reminder. So that's a feature a lot of people don't know about. That's really, really beneficial to me. Every Monday at 8 p.m., I have a reminder it sets that says take out the trash. Because we got 2 kids. So if we miss the trash, like our trash has quadrupled since we had kids. If I miss the trash one day, it's a bad week. It starts stacking up in the garage. So setting that reminder is a huge, huge win. I have monthly reminders that remind me to do things monthly. And, there's times where somebody in our company will say, hey, XYZ. And I'm like, I can't tackle that right now, but let me write that down in my reminders. And I use Siri to 90% of the time when it comes to reminders. So reminders is an app that I cannot live without. The next one, number 6, is an app called Mojo. Now, this is a paid subscription. I think you can get a trial for 3 days, but Mojo you can use it for Instagram. You can use it for Insta stories. You can basically use it for anything now. But what it is, it basically takes video, if you have any promotions, anything like that, and it has motion graphics built into it. So if you're not from video world, this stuff 10 years ago, you had to know how to use motion graphics, which is very intense to a videographer. And there's people that do motion graphics for a living. So the fact that you can have it built into an app that makes it super, super simplified. It's completely worth I think it's $40 or $50 a year. And it is incredible. Mojo will take your stories, take your company, and make it look really, really professional. So that's an app that I can't live without because I use it all the time. Number 7, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on because I have a whole podcast dedicated to it, is Numa. That's Numa, Numa. Phenomenal app. We use it for our company. Game changer. There's nothing that I don't like about it. It's just the guests love it. We have all the time people call. When they call in the message, it says that you can leave a message or you can press any number to receive a text. And they think that's really, really cool. So it serves the guest best. Number 8, I've tried so many video editing softwares on iOS that I get really disappointed with them. Here's an app that is so simple to use and it's free. It's called VN. V is in like Valerie and N is in Nancy. VN, very simple to use. So if you have people in your company that, we know video rules the world right now with social media, and they just don't know how to edit videos. They don't know what to do. VN is a great app to have them start off on, and it's got royalty-free music on there. It's a really, really simple app to use that you can do, transitions, you can do filters on it. It's really, really easy to use. So VN. Number 9, you probably have heard of this app called Canva. If you have not heard of Canva, it is an amazing app that I wish I would have thought of like 10 years ago. I remember the days of Photoshop and, you wanted to design something pretty quickly, but you had to have Adobe Photoshop and you had to know how to use it, and it was very intense. Well, now you had Canva, and Canva has templates all the way from business cards to presentations to, now they're even getting into video. And so Canva is really, really great. We do all of our retail promotions, all of our signage through Canva. I use it probably at least once a day. All the Instagram posts, like most of them are going through Canva. So Canva is an amazing app, and I highly recommend it if you're using it web-based. The app can be a little tricky, but web-based Canva is it's amazing. Completely worth the money. I don't even know how much it is. Literally, they could probably double the price and I would stick with it. That's how amazing it is. And Canva, if you're listening to this, please don't double the price. Next one is an app you probably never heard of called Camo. It is an app that you put on your phone where you can use your phone as a webcam. I am a stickler about video and audio, and so I hate the webcam on the MacBook, all the Macs. They're just garbage. They look terrible. They look grainy. So I Googled one day, can I use my iPhone as a webcam? And you can. It's an app called Camo, and you might want to search for it. I guess it is in the App Store. It's called Re-Incubate. I think that's the company that owns it. And the app's called Camo. Amazing app. You can do really cool stuff. Have you ever seen people where they like blur out the background? They're using a DSLR camera. Well, you can do that on this app, and you can go super wide if you wanted to. So if you were teaching and you had visuals, you could go super wide. So Camo, I think it's like $40, completely worth the money. Those are the top apps. Hopefully you're going to download one of these apps, and if you have any questions or how to use it, just DM me on Instagram at evansilver.co. You can reach me there. Thank you so much for listening to Touch the Line. I really appreciate it. I'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for listening to Touch the Line podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel wherever you're listening.